Hello, my name's Cathy. Today I'm going to work with you on learning how to build a granny patch afghan or a pillow or whatever you'd like to put your granny patch in. However, it's one of the simplest blocks that you can make. I'm going to go through it at a slow enough pace where a beginner should be able to function and make a crochet block and feel pretty proud of their outcome. But also, if you're an advanced person, advanced crocheter, you'll be able to proceed through this project more quickly, fast forward through the video. That's the nice thing about YouTube. You can go back and you can refresh the areas that you weren't feeling comfortable and confident with. So I'm going to move the camera over and we're going to get started on some closer things so I can show you how to get started. So I'm using a size J hook. However, some people can use smaller hooks or bigger hooks, whatever they feel comfortable with. I'm using a 4-ply, very average weight yarn acrylic. You can find it in any of your department stores. And I get started by wrapping a portion around my finger. I hold on to the portion where they connect and stick my hook through the opening that's left and draw through, making a knot. I'll show you that process one more time. If you ever screw up in crochet, it's as easy as pulling it out. Did you see how slick that was? Wrap it around your finger. Pull the loop over your finger and pull the loop through. Tug it till it's tight. Once you get to that point, you need to create your tension on your yarn. So I always put it over, under, over so that your front finger can guide the thread. And if you need to pull the thread tighter, you pinch your fingers tighter together. If you need to have more slack, you can open your fingers. I always hold it with my middle finger and my thumb. You need to start with your granny patch by making 3 chains. A chain is as simple as taking the thread and pulling it through the loop. Chain 1. Do it again. Pull the yarn through your opening. That's chain 2. Chain 3. I'll show you that again. Again, if you make a mistake in crochet, it's as easy as pulling out the thread. I go through that loop that I made earlier with the knot. Chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. If you'd like to practice this step, you're more than welcome to pause the video, but I'm going to continue on. So you take your chain, your 3 chains, and you put it through the side. You'll notice there's a small hole in the side of the first chain, and you pull a loop through everything so it makes a circle. From here on, you're not going to worry about stitching through the side of the chain because that's the beauty of the granny patch, how fast it is. I'm going to do chain 3 more times. That'll act as your first double crochet. So chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. Now to work a double crochet, you're simply going to wrap the thread around the end of your hook, insert it in the middle of all those chains you had earlier where that makes that loop, that circle. Hook the yarn over the loop so that it comes through, it passes through that hole. You pull it through 2 of the loops and you go through the second one to get up there at the top. till you're left with just one yarn over the top of the crochet hook. Let's show you that process again. Yarn over, through the loop, yarn over again, pull it through the loop. So now you've left with essentially 3 pieces of yarn over the top of your hook. Pull it through 2, pull it through 2. It's a 2-step process, which is why they call it the double crochet. You're going to create several of these in the granny patch. You see how that works here? So here would be my first 3 chain. Here's the second double crochet, third double crochet, and then there will be a 4th one. So we'll show you that process again. Yarn over, put it through the loop, and over here I hook it. So once again you're left with three pieces of yarn over the top of the hook. Pass through 2 of the loops, pass through the last 2 of the loops. Since we're at the beginning stages of the granny patch, essentially one little cluster is going to be one side. So I'm already at a corner. For a corner you're going to make two chains, 1, 2, and you're going to start the process all over again. So double crochet, push it through the loop down there, 1, 2, yarn over, push it through the loop, pull up a loop, 1, 2, the double crochet portion. Here we go, 1, 2. I'm going to do some of these kind of fast so we can get on to show how you can make the next chain 1, 2, so that you can so I can show you how you get to the next row, because some people feel confused about how you can get to the next row. So I'm on double crochet 3, double crochet 4, now we're at a corner again, chain 1, 2, double crochet 1, whoops, double crochet 2, double crochet 3, double crochet 4. Now I'm at the last corner. You operate exactly the same, chain 1, chain 2. The difference is you need to hook it over here to that chain 3 sequence I told you would act like the first double crochet. So, see if I can get this nice and close up for you. I'm going to push through the side of the 3rd chain, draw up a loop through here, and the difference with a single crochet and with the double crochets, this particular time I'm going to pull straight through and create a slip stitch. Let me show you that again. Again, the beauty of the crochet is that you can pull out and start over. You know, at any point when you discover you've made a mistake, it's so easy to tear it out and try it again. So I've still got chain 1, chain 2, push it through the side, and slip stitch through. So now that corner looks like the others. To get to the next opening, I'm going to proceed to slip stitch through the next double crochet, slip stitch through the back of the next double crochet, slip stitch again through the last double crochet, and now I can simply start this corner again. So I've just went under all of the stitches, all of the chains here, started again, start the process all over. Now you've got to chain 1, 2, 3, double crochet, double crochet. This will act as the 3rd double crochet and the 4th. So you've created another cluster. Chain 1, 2, because we're at a corner. Work 4 more double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, And now I wanted to get you to this step because you can see that at this point we don't need to make a corner yet. At this point, you are only going to do one chain. Up until this point, we've done 2 to create corners. So chain 1 only, and then work your double crochet in the corners here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, however, we are at a corner. So you're going to need to do 1, 2 chains, and then put another double crochet in the same space that you worked the last cluster. So you're going to need to put another cluster in that space so it forces the yarn to create the square, that corner of the square that you're looking for. And you can see how it forced it to make the square there. So we've got 1, 2 squares. I could continue on. I've got to make a single chain and go on to the next space at this point. However, I'm interested in showing you how to attach the next layer. Now, you could stop at this point and attach the next layer or the next color. However, as you can see, this particular time, I chose to do 3 layers, 1, 2, 3, or 3 rows, excuse me, in this particular afghan. So I'm going to draw the loop out so that I know that I can find that later so that I can continue on and make another row. And when I get to another row, all I do is do this chain 3 in the last space to go up to the next row. So I'm going to go with the red because I've also got red centers in this afghan. So I've created this one. I've got row 1, row 2, row 3. I'm to a corner. I'm going to show you that again. Chain 1, chain 2. I'm going to a 4 double crochet cluster, 1, 2. I've got 3, 4, chain 1, and then I've got a 1 chain space here that I'm working on. 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3, 4, and since it's a straight edge, I'm going to chain only once. I'm going to show you this fastening off process. I'm going to go through the 3rd chain that's operating or acting like a double crochet and slip stitch. Whoops, I missed it. Slip stitch, pull that yarn all the way through each of those layers. So essentially, I've attached that entire row, row 3. I'm not going to slip stitch through these backs, the backs of these double crochets because I don't want to put another row on this particular color. So while I'm at this phase, I'm just simply going to pull another loop through, draw it out a ways in case I need to use that extra length or in case I need to hide the tail, and then I pull it snug so that it creates essentially a knot in there and it holds that for me. At this point, I am free to just cut it off. So I went to a completely finished 3-row beginning block for a granny